everybody, welcome back to my series on free and cheap things to do in and around the Orlando area. Today I have come to the Osceola County Visitor Center History Museum. I actually tried to come here back in January of 2024. Michael had to fly in and out round trip from the Orlando airport that day, so Abra and I brought him to the airport and we just hung out in Orlando looking for things to do. She and I went to the Shingle Creek Park to take a nice long hike, and on the sidewalk we happened to go right past this museum. I really wanted to see it then, but because I had Abra with me and pets are not allowed, I had to skip it, but I've wanted to come back ever since. This museum is totally free and it takes you through what Florida was like before there was European contact and walk us through the history of this area of Florida all the way up to present. I am so excited about this. I have wanted to come here for over a year now and I'm so glad to be back. Let's go check this museum out. All right, wow, okay. Headwaters to the Everglades. Okay. Lake Kissimmee, that's where we are. The world-renowned Everglades begin with the Reedy and Shingle creeks, and we're at Shingle, near where you are standing. Wow, we're standing at the beginning of the Everglades. Isn't that crazy? Look. All right, guys, I'm excited. Let's go. Let's go see some natural Florida animals. Raccoon, little baby gator. Florida's first people came by following herds of wild beasts, and others came by sea. They lived along the coast, later moving inland. Artifacts and trash tell us about their lives. Speaking of artifacts, here we go. Pottery. A bracelet. Here's a wooden pestle for grinding. Oh, look at these arrowheads. Oh, look, a little otter. This is Koakuchi, the chief born 1807, 1857. Koakuchi means wild cat. Brave and daring warrior. Participated in the Seminole Wars, and after his escape in St. Augustine, he carried Osceola's resistance for 5 more years. He raided against planters and early settlers. Slave owners bent on rounding up runaway slaves. He finally surrendered to face exile, and he was exiled to the west. He rejected life on the reservation and lived in the hills of Mexico. Wow. Koakuchi. Look at this little otter back there. See the Florida panther. Duck. Seminoles find safety in the swamps. From Wildcat to Billy Bowlegs, generations of Seminoles lived, farmed, hunted, and eluded the army throughout the Kissimmee River Valley. They were also the first Kissimmee cowmen. They now live primarily in southern Florida. Part of their story remains in Osceola County. artistic traditions. Calico skirts. Look at these beads. Wow. Seminoles no longer live in Osceola County, but they settled in other areas of the state. 3,000 were forced to move to Oklahoma, and about that many live in southern Florida today. Logging the forest. Keep getting distracted by the sound of a horse. Do you hear that? They were logging for cypress. Cypress grows slow. It takes several hundred years for it to be 2 feet in diameter and 200 years or more before it produces rot-resistant hardwood. Centerwood resisted decay and made it useful for building ships, exteriors, roofs, shingles, decks, paneling, water pipes, water tanks, and poles and fence posts. By World War II, 7 decades of logging had stripped Florida of most of its first growth forests. Sands of time, scraping by in the scrub. Osceola's frontier with heat, humidity, and torrential rains was a rough place, a long way from the law and order or even pest control. Families fended for themselves, or they did without. These pioneers were self-reliant, tenacious, subsisting by hunting, farming, and raising livestock. Fire causes fear in humans. Look at the bobcat. Gopher tortoise. Over here, got a coyote. Birds. Cow hunters and cattle drivers. Florida's early cattle hunters captured wild cattle left behind by the Spanish. Beef was in high demand in Cuba. Wow. Pretty butterfly. Alright, let's go check out over here. These horses sounds keep distracting me. Cattleman culture. Can you hear that? The horse clop? It keeps making me look over my shoulder. Brands to identify their animals. Catalog. Well, 10 to 12 foot long leather braided whips. The whip's crack could be heard for miles, making it possible to send coded signals. I think that's where the name cracker came from. McClellan saddle. We were somewhere recently and we saw a McClellan saddle, and that was supposed to be a big deal. I want to say it was at one of those houses we went to. American Memorial May. Maybe the Queen Anne style house. Citrus crops. We should go visit a historic citrus warehouse. Anybody want to do that? That sounds like fun. Historic Cadman Grove. Oh, that's the Pioneer Village. We'll have to go there. Visit the Cadman Grove packing house. Absolutely. Let's put that on the to-do list, shall we? Planting seeds for Florida's produce. Wow, look at all those bananas. Look at all those bananas. The bananas? Oh my gosh. What's this thing? Here comes the railroad. Oh, that's just stuff for sale. I thought it was artifacts from the railroad. Rolla's center of commerce expanded when the railroad from Stanford reached Kissimmee in 1882 and Tampa in 1885. The railroads of Henry Plant and Henry Flagler gained a large share of 10 million acres of swampland. Everywhere the railroads went, new communities followed. When people couldn't get to where they were going on foot, they traveled on the river roads. Steamboats. R.E. Rose, Addison Gilbert. Steamboat called the Osceola. Here we go. Scan that if you want additional content. Oh, draining the swamp. Bird watching. I went on a bird watching tour. I should have taken the vlog. That was really fun. Here's a map. Do you remember Kenansville? We went there. I think that's the Heartbreak Hotel and the bank. It was one of Michael and my earliest videos we ever did. I've been to Shingle Creek on the vlog. Yeehaw Junction, it's gone now. I recently saw Rhodey with Rich went there and it's completely gone. That's too bad. We went to Hollapall too, but none of that is still there. History just gone away. Here we go, Kenansville. Railroad developer Henry Flagler donated 5 acres, I think it was his wife actually, and $6,000 to build a brick schoolhouse with an auditorium, and we took the vlog to show you that. The new community adopted the name in honor of Flagler's third wife, Mary Lily Keenan of Kenansville. Yep, we took the vlog there. Look that video up if you're interested. This is a exhibit showing a hammock A shady place with fertile soil to grow large live oaks and tall sable palms. Hammocks are ideal places of refuge from wet surroundings in the hot sun. Isn't that beautiful? It reminds me of Bulow Plantation. We see these everywhere. I love the anoles. Mammals in the hammock. Got to go watch the yearling. Oh, there's a snake. Only 2 seasons, wet and dry. Isn't that the truth? There's no winter here. So it's so great about Florida. There's no winter. Red on yellow kilopello. Turkey. Oh, there's a snake. Is that red on yellow? I think it is. Is that a red on yellow kilopello? The thrill of the hunt, hunting and fishing for food or to make a living, has a deep history and connection to the lands and waters of Osceola County. Here, we have somewhere in here a gator, donated by Gatorland. Oh, I see his backside. Let's go over here. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them. They're so tiny, tiny little gators. Hello. Boy, you guys are so friendly looking when you're small. So cute. I see why people want to have them as pets. Can you imagine? Woo! That made me jump. That made me jump, yep. Hi, buddy. You are such a cutie. Hi, cutie. Hello. You're gonna be ferocious when you're grown up. You know that? Ferocious. Exhibit. It's talking about marsh birds and animals that live in the marsh. Kingfisher. That was recently one of my colors. I got to learn what a kingfisher actually is. I wonder if it's that bird. No, that's a double-crested cormorant. It's a beautiful white bird. My goodness, look at the size of this eagle nest. Okay, I remember something about this. Early ecotourism, we're talking about tin can campers. If you were here for Memorial May, I did a video on where the tin can campers actually set up camp in Melbourne. But I'd never heard of them before and I've never heard of them since. But look here, auto camps. The early 1920s. This was another one. How cool. Car campers. This was like before people really took RVs or anything like that to have vacations with. That is so cool. 1925. Wow. I had never heard of tin can campers before. Here we go. First heyday hotels. This one is Runnymede Lodge. Wow, boy. I wonder if it's still there. I don't know. Heartbreak Hotel. Oh, this is the Kenansville Heartbreak Hotel. So this is what it used to look like. They've changed the font and I think they put like some clovers or something on it. Elvis never stayed there. Everyone who goes to visit says that Elvis stayed there and that's why it's called the Heartbreak Hotel, but it's not. He didn't write that song either. He definitely didn't write it there. Wow. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if my footage wasn't the best. It's really difficult for me to film in a museum when my head is on a swivel. I'm so overwhelmed by how much there is to see, and I'm also trying to read as much as I can off the signs. I hope the footage wasn't as seasicky as it might have been a few times, but I really enjoy coming places like this. It's so exciting to me now that we've done so many videos and we've visited so many historical spots. And then when I come to a place like this and I see them referenced, or I see an old photograph of what it used to look like, specifically in this case like Kenansville, that was one of the first videos Michael and I did together on our channel where we really just felt like we kind of were comfortable with the cameras and we knew what we were saying, and editing wasn't so scary. To see Kenansville referenced so many times in this museum, other things too, like the pioneer history and the cattle driving history, and growing up with movies like The Yearling and that book that I love so much. It feels sometimes like Florida's history is kind of starting to knit itself together in my brain, and I'm understanding it more and more. And so coming to a museum like this for me is just fantastic. I really had a good time. I hope you did too. This is a totally free thing you can do if you're in Orlando and you want to learn some history. Totally worth the stop. I highly recommend getting a little bit of a feel of the history of an area that you love. So that's all for this video, guys. I'll see you another day in another one. Bye, everybody.